Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're talking with an interior designer today, but when we get together with her, she runs it deep, which I love because it also reflects what she does in terms of design work. We're going to talk about something today that affects all of us, can change all of our lives, called inspired action. What exactly is inspired action? You may be doing it and not even know you're doing it. She's KN from KN Creations. She's back with us. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. How are you?
Interested to learn more about this. I've heard those two words together, inspired action. I'm pretty sure I know what it relates to, but what exactly is inspired action?
So I've learned about this recently, and it took me a long time to even figure out that I was kind of standing in my own way of a lot of my goals and my success because I wasn't taking inspired action. And basically, what it is it's taking little steps to get to the main end goal. So, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you have to do little things. Like, for example, if you have something new on the chopper and you want to introduce it to the world, what is your first step in doing so? Make a list of all the people you want to introduce it to. Write an email, whether it's a template or like a personal email, and send it to like 5 people. And just planting basic little seeds of whatever it is you're involved in, that can grow into big, beautiful, successful trees.
Is inspired action somewhat like manifestation?
Kind of. But I feel like it's the action part. Like, so you have to physically do something. You know, when you think inspire, when you take the word inspiration and you separate it from action, inspiration is like you're conjuring up the creative part, the role in your mind. Well, when you have to implement that somehow into an action, it's inspired action. You have to do the small stuff, the small steps to get started at all. And I think a lot of people, they live in that freeze mode where you're overthinking. You're like, how am I going to figure this out? How am I going to do this? And you sit there and days go by and you're like, okay, I'll figure it out tomorrow. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I'm going to do the first step tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you're like, I'm going to do it tomorrow. You keep putting it off. And then you're just like wasting your own time and you're doing yourself a disservice.
What is the difference between inspired action and action?
Well, they're kind of almost the same. So like action is like, okay, you know exactly what you're doing, you're nailing it. You have like straight focus, you know exactly what you need to be doing. You're doing the hard stuff. Inspired action is you're going a little bit easier, right? You're doing the little things that lead to the big takeoff. Like for me, for example, I travel a lot for work for interior design. Now I love travel so much that I just got certified to be a travel advisor. And I was like, I never thought in my life I would be doing that ever. But it kind of fell into my lap. And I was like, how am I going to do that? Like, I don't even know where to start. So I signed up. There was a course involved. And I'm like, okay, step one, point A to point B for everything that I do. Point A, take the course, did that. Point B, take the certification test, did that. What's my next step? I'm like, okay, I got my certification. What do I do? Sent out an email to every client of mine, all of my colleagues, all my friends, just saying, hey, if you guys are traveling, let me know. I can set up all your plans and whatnot. Even in the design industry, like what I do design wise, when I first started looking back, thinking on it, I'm like, holy shit, I really like stood my own way for years because I was so like instilled with fear of getting started that I just sat back and I was like, I'm never going to do this on my own. I'm going to always have to work for someone. And then finally, like the universe gave me a shove and was like, nope, sink or swim, baby. Time to take that action.
Is it a gut feeling? Like, let's go to the travel advisor side. Did you have that inside of you? Were you feeling that? Was there something that was just like nudging you along, like, yeah, you should do this. Yeah, you should do this. You know, you love travel. Do this, do this. Like just something that was speaking to you.
Yeah, for a long time. And I really
Mhm.
kind of ignored it, which was weird because everyone's like, you should travel for a living. I'm like, I kind of do already. Like, I'm always traveling, whether it's by myself or like with sourcing groups. I just find my peace and my happy place, and I'm most creative when I'm traveling. And then it does my business a huge service because I'm getting inspired. I'm feeling refreshed. I can focus again when I come back, or even when I'm out wherever I am. Like literally when I was in Italy, it was 2 o'clock in the morning in Italy, and I was dealing with vendors here in the US because of the time change. And I was fine with it. I was like, wow, this is weird. If I was home and it was 2 a.m., I'd be like a basket case, losing my mind that I'd be doing this. And it's just little things that added up to like a light bulb going off in my head. I'm like, you know what? This is what I need to be doing just as a second thing, like one more creative path for me to take that all kind of intertwine.
You think about this, there's so many things that many of us are inspired by, gut feeling, whatever it is, but we never take the action. And it could be the answer to supreme happiness. Like for me, I keep getting back to Florida. I should be I should be living there. I live in New York. Ever since I was in my 20s, I started looking for jobs in Florida. Never had the nerve along the years to pull a trigger and do it. But I see it in my mind like you're going to be there. It's move, do it now. What are you waiting for? Of course, it's logistics and things like that. I could pretty much be anywhere. And last time I was there, I saw friends of mine I went to school with, and I even manifested. I'm like, yeah, next time I come here, it'll be permanently. Just throw it out there. But it keeps calling something warmer, tropical, even to the point where in the New York area, it finally warmed up a few weeks ago. I walked outside. I'm like, this is how other people live, man. Dude, what are you waiting for?
What do
Like
you think is stopping you?
um, just pulling the trigger and doing it. Yeah, just and some, logistical family type stuff. But yeah, what do you get to lose? Life is short. Just go for it. Even if it's just, on a temporary basis, because I could still work there, do the same exact thing as I do here. It's that and other things, like even ideas you have, business ideas. And a lot of us always go to well, how am I going to do that? Those three words.
Right.
How? I mean, don't worry about it. Just go, just do it.
And then
Let
that's
all
when
the
you get
pieces.
stuck. That's when
Yeah.
you get stuck in that freeze mode that we all get stuck in. We're all guilty of it. We all do it every day, whether
Yeah.
it's something big or small. Like everyone's doing it. It's like it'll creep up on you. And I feel like things happen for a reason, right? So if that's what you want ultimately, like eventually the universe is going to somehow pull you into that direction one way or another. It could be catastrophic or it could be good. You don't know.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
you really don't know how you're going to end up from point A to point B. Like this apartment, for example, this building I'm living in now was being built from the ground up when I toured this apartment. Now I work in construction, so I know that the bones of this place, the materials used, everything is like legit decent quality. And they knew when they were kind of interviewing me that I would be a really good contender to live here because I could like educate the other people living here.
Hmm.
um, and when this first went up, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford this place because it's expensive. It's not cheap. And I had my first inspired action was to even go look at it. Because in my head, I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to afford to live here from where I was and what I was paying. And then I just did it, and that sparked something in me. And I was like, okay, now that I've seen it, I have the vision. It's so crystal clear. I am going to make this happen if it kills me. And then it really just worked out very seamlessly. It wasn't even hard. And here I am. And every night I lay in bed, I look around and I'm like, wow, I actually live here. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, you say to yourself, I pulled this one off. You got I
Yeah,
did it. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
That's what
It's
inspired action is. It's like just doing that one first hard step of like maybe seeing the picture, like painting the picture, and then seeing how it unfolds from there.
well, many of us are afraid to even take the first step because of fear of failure, uh, finances, all those things. But we don't realize on the other side of it how maybe it was, I don't want to use a cliche, meant to be, but that's the way it was supposed to be in terms of the universe and your life and all of that. There's so many things. I'm sure you have them, things that just gnaw at you, like I should be doing this. I should be doing this. Like the travel advisor. I think that's a great idea. I really believe, since everything we do is so impersonal, that when it comes to travel, it's going to spin back around and people are going to call upon travel advisors to take care of things for them. It was a thing back in the day, they're travel
Yeah.
agents. Then we got into, book online, but you got a question, you have an issue, whatever. Nobody's got your back. Good luck. That's
Right.
horrible. And there's a lot of money you're spending if you're going to travel. Why wouldn't you want to talk with somebody who maybe can look for a deal instead of having a website track your cookies and then raise the damn price up the next
Oh
time
my
you
God.
look?
Yeah, and it will do that too. And that's what I've
Yeah.
learned too in my own travel ventures. Like I have, when I listed exactly where I've traveled this year alone, my jaw fell to the floor. I was like, wow, I have literally been all over the world in 2024, like from the end of 2023 to 2024. I can't believe the things that I've seen in such a short amount of time and not realizing it until this very moment. And so people ask me like, oh, what's the best place you've been to? And I'm like, I don't even have that answer because I'm still processing everything that I see.
Hmm. When you travel, do you get that gut feeling like I should go?
Like I should go to the trip or
Yeah. Yeah. That I should move forward with it. So, do you feel it inside like I need to go? This is
yeah,
something I need to do.
yeah. Yeah, I really do. I use a lot of my spiritual discernment when making these travel decisions. I will say the last trip when I just went to Italy, that was not planned at all. That was the first like big trip I actually didn't plan and didn't put too much thought into. And I don't know what got into me. It was 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday. And I was like, it was kind of like lingering in the back of my gut for a couple of months. I'm like, I just feel like I need to be out there at this time, and I don't know why. Obviously, the design show, yeah, and I've been to that design show before, and it was great. It was very overwhelming, but I kind of was just like, I really need to just go. I don't know. I don't know. Something just kept telling me just go on this trip. I went on it, and this was a very different experience for me this time around because I was really fully present. I had really a clear mind. I knew that what I was looking for, inspiration wise, that creative spark
Hmm.
I needed to get off of my plateau and my lull in my brain. And it did exactly that. And it was the most fulfilling, like self-fulfilling trip. And now it's kind of led me to the place where I am now, where I'm like, I need to be doing more of this. Like, I need to help others, really help people see the world because I feel like it's so healing and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Everyone I talk to, they're like, oh my God, I need a vacation. I'm like, so book a vacation, especially people that run their own businesses. Like, I get it. You need to make sure you have people boots in the ground here, making sure things are okay, but you can very easily pick up the phone. You can FaceTime. You can see what's going on here while you're traveling. You can be very fully present in your business without physically being here. It doesn't, most jobs nowadays, they don't require that. They really don't, unless you're the one swinging the hammer. It doesn't it doesn't require that. So what's stopping you from going away, even if it's only for 3 days, wherever it is? There's no
Uh,
excuse
there's
unless
no
you
excuse.
can't afford it. That would be
Well,
the only
okay.
excuse.
But, some believe that if you manifest it, it'll happen. I know it sounds like a woo woo, dream it and it shall be, but many believe that. But when we talk about inspired action, a lot of us now act because we should. When we take action, we do it because well, I need to. I should be doing that,
Mhm.
or because others have asked you to, or guilt. I'm not talking about inspired action. I'm just talking when we take action. Why do we do it? Why do we do certain things? Yeah, I showed up on Saturday at this event. Well, I had to go because they wanted me to go. Did I really want to go? You move it back to inspired action where it comes from within. Like it's just a all-knowing feeling why I need to do this, or I feel I need to do this, but then the blocks come up and those other things get in our way. Maybe it's guilt too. You should be doing this. Your gut tells you to do this, but you're not doing it because of guilt or whatever it might
Or the
be.
fear of missing out.
Yeah.
FOMO,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, for sure.
It's
Yeah.
very real.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you should be doing this. All right, you got two things here. I should be doing this and planning something that would be very beneficial to my business. But instead, I pivoted and I went to the party over here because I had FOMO. It wasn't inspired. It was just an action where this is an inspired action. Start working on that website, write some copy for it, because that will move your life forward over here much more than this. But we don't
Yeah.
listen to the inspiration.
Sometimes we're finding we're distracting ourselves from working anywhere near the goal at hand. Like, I know me, my toxic trait is I will literally disinfect my house before sending an email that I have to send. Like, it's a problem. And for me, it's like, okay, sit down and send the email. That's an inspired action. Like all these small little things that you have to do. You have to do it. You have to like reparent and discipline your brain to do these things and get out of the, distraction part, the distraction side of your inner voice, because I truly feel like that is a test. It's a test from the universe. When something comes in your head, you're like, oh, I could be doing this instead, but I should be doing this. Which one are you going to pick? It's like the devil's advocate, like devil and angel on your shoulder kind of thing. And then you end up getting mad at yourself because you didn't follow what you needed to do to begin with. But when you do that thing, you feel so much better and you feel accomplished and you feel inspired and you're ready to start moving forward instead of being like getting this anxiety, like you can't breathe because you're like, oh, I have to start this and I just don't want to, or I just don't know how. It's getting to me. It's eating at me. You just got to make a move.
Now, you said that instead of sending an email, you may totally disinfect your place.
Yeah.
Is that because you're looking for reasons to avoid sending the email?
Yes. Yes.
Got
I
it.
do that quite often with a lot of things in my life. And that's what I'm working. That's why I'm really implementing this inspired action. Like, for example, like that certification test I needed to take for the travel advisor, I put off for like 5 days. I'm not even kidding. I finished the training and I got so mad at myself because I said, this is ridiculous. Sit down and take the test. What is there to be afraid of? Like, yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. Yeah, I did fail the test a couple times before I actually passed, but you can take it as many times as you need to in order to pass, and that's fine. But like, you just got to sit and focus and you can't let like other things distract you. I went out once this holiday weekend. I really didn't do much of anything. I was home by like 10 p.m. because I was focused on this goal, like, passing this test, getting everything lined up and buttoned up for clients that I knew was going to be a jam-packed week this week. Things to that nature. Like, to me, I've never felt more accomplished walking into a Tuesday after a long weekend where I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the week. I feel good. I'm excited. I'm inspired. And it's because I did all these little things that I needed to do, check off my boxes to get to where I'm going.
Well, why didn't you call me? Because I had goals. I was going to write copy for a website. I even put it out there. I need to do that this weekend. I was going to do that yesterday because it was supposed to rain, and then it didn't. And then I wound up going out, and you shouldn't should on yourself. Should have done that. That's really that would have been so much more impactful. But I had FOMO. It's like, well, everybody else is doing stuff, so I'm going to go. It was like the wrong way to think it, because I would have felt accomplished. Interesting. I had a conversation with somebody I work with, and also a friend. He's a prominent doctor in New York City. And he said that there are some weekends where he's all alone all weekend, intentionally from Friday until late Sunday, doesn't interact with people. And he's a very deep guy. He's fun to be with and all of that. But he's told me, like, yeah, I set those intentions and down, and it's great. I get so much accomplished. And just like you said, he starts the week charging into it, feeling so amazingly refreshed just because he was sat with himself. He did things, but by himself.
By himself. Well, he's
Yeah.
probably seeing a million people a week. And he's
Well,
like, I'm done socializing for a little while.
Well, that or he works a lot, so it takes his energy as well. But it's something to be said for that when you think about taking that time to just get deep within yourself, and guess what has resulted from that? His business has grown a lot. He's now getting a location on Park Avenue in New York City in September. He's really moving forward, and I'll bet that's part of it. And I'll bet it's all inspired action
And focus, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's just
Yeah.
like anything, even a little, like if you're starting a small project in your house, or like, cleaning out your car, or don't like, how many times have you cleaned out your closet or your house? You have all these donations that you got to get rid of. They're sitting in garbage bags in your car for like 6 months. Guilty.
I have a crappy Jeep, and so it's out of sight, out of mind. I only use it, for hit the beach or whatever. There is a bag in there that I'm waiting to find the right kind of bin to place it in, and because I don't need the space in the back, I don't think about it yet. So I'm doing that. You're right.
Yep, me too. Today's the day. I'm dropping it all off. I want to get rid of it.
Got to set the intention. Like
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't, and I don't. I'm seeing more inspired action is really coming from within. Like you're feeling something, i.e., the inspiration to move you to take action. Because the rest of the stuff, it's like rinse and repeat. We're just taking an action, but not one that is insightful, has the intention on it. There's a big difference there. I always think that, like we said, has a little bit of manifestation mixed into it.
Well, there's a quote too that I kind of live by, and I have to remind myself often, and I've heard it, and I don't remember who originated it, but it's basically, the more you procrastinate, anytime you procrastinate, you gave someone else that opportunity. So if you're not doing the action right then and there, somebody else is going to do it. Someone else is going to succeed. I can't tell you how many times I have seen other people in my industry and in other creative industries that I'd like to be involved in do something that I've thought about for so long, and I never acted on it. And I'm watching them, and I'm like, they literally like got into my brain, figured out their own version of this idea, and they made something of it. And I'm like, I've never felt more stupid because I didn't act on it, and it's my own fault.
Mm-hmm.
And they did, and they're successful with it. And I'm like, what am I doing? Where are my distractions lying? Let's strip that from my brain so I can refocus, realign, and then I don't have to feel guilty, like I'm really just sitting on my own potential. I think we're all kind of guilty of that.
Oh yeah, and a lot of the distractions are within. It's our own. We generated these distractions. It's not like, oh, I didn't have any time. You always have time. It's not like, things were going on around you. You created it. And maybe we create the distractions and don't even know we're doing it because we're afraid to confront it. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of, somebody saying, why are you doing that? You should be doing this, guilt and all that other stuff that comes into play.
100%.
Well, I need to book a vacation, and now I know who to go to.
I got you covered.
And
I need to book a vacation too.
I'm going to be honest. I did reach out to somebody, and my gut, I'm not feeling it. There's a reason that my gut is telling me not to move forward with that.
Who did you reach out to? Like for what?
A travel advisor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Last 2 weeks. I'm like, no. I don't, just long story, but it's just not happening. Gut says it's not happening. So yeah.
Well, I feel like it's kind of an intimate, like situation. That's why I wanted to reach out to everyone that I know first. I don't really want to reach out to strangers.
Sure.
Because I want people to have that real intimate experience. I know what you want. Tell me what you want. I want to make it really special because it is so healing. I'm going to keep saying it. Like, travel is healing. Whatever you're going through, your life could be phenomenal, and you may like have these underlying traumas that were never healed. And when you're traveling and you're really fully present, you're not scrolling on your phone and you're looking around, you have an aha moment. You're like, wow, life is pretty damn beautiful.
I was driving in today and had the thought of going away. I've never gone away exclusively by myself. Saw myself on a beach in Barbados, insert anywhere tropical, and just hanging with the local people. And that was, and I'm going to take inspired action. I am.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, because that's what I got to do. Like, seriously, something says you need to do that, and forget about, planning with other people and whether they can go this date and that and this and want to do this and do that. No, I'm done.
See, now you've been sparked. This conversation was like inspired action for you to book your trip.
It was.
Start planning, start looking into it.
I'm not even kidding. That's what I was thinking driving today. We'll talk, as they say. How do we connect with you on any of these levels, even specifically your design business?
You can find me on my social media, my Instagram, K_ANN Creations and Design, or my website is KannCreationsandDesignLTD.com.
Always great talking with you.
You too. Yeah. Let's get that trip planned.
You think I'm not going to? I am. I will. Thanks for being here. We'll talk soon. I'll be live from the Caribbean next time we get together.
Yes.
Thanks. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.